Hey guys, Matt here. I just learned about this, I don't know, a few seconds ago, a few minutes ago, from one of the comments I read on the last video. Elon Musk has a company called The Boring Company that produces flamethrowers. Normally, like when reality breaks down like this, I would start laughing, but I'm not in that mood today. I'm actually getting like Levette. I'm getting a bit pissed off. Watch this, and then I have no idea what I'm going to say, but I'm going to have to say something when I come back.
But they're pretty cheap. We just definitely want to keep the flamethrower away from this. All right, how does she look with the blue on it? Oh,
amazing.
That is good. So this is your first time turning this on.
First time.
This one at least. Oh! Okay, we're good. Okay, that works great. Did you see that? That's hot. Wow. All right, mannequin time. All right, it's my turn. Don't try this at your home. Okay, take two. There you go! There you go! Oh, no!
So, I have no idea what's going on here. I assure you, obviously, it's not what it seems. Oh, Matt, he's just an entrepreneur that got a great idea to sell a flamethrower. No, somebody that is positioning themselves to be in a role to replace NASA isn't going to sell a flamethrower toy that could burn down half of the western states that are constantly in drought. It is just one of the most bizarre. Who's calling me? Oh boy, not getting it. Okay. Where were we? What do we know? We know, I mean, just think of the legal, if things were real, the legal liability that comes along with selling a flamethrower. No one, of course, he's in the club, inside the club, inside the club. I'm well aware he's completely protected from litigation. What would affect you and I if we were selling flamethrowers does not affect Elon Musk. I know that. But there's just no reason for it that makes any normal terrestrial pedestrian everyday sense. You don't, if you're replacing NASA and trying to run, I mean, we know something else is going on here, but we're starting at the ground level. Replacing NASA, trying to build the world's largest electric car company, putting solar panels via Solar City on everyone's house, and involved in all these other monster projects of which none of that's real. I get it. But let's just go through the logic of what the story is that's being presented to us. You don't potentially, if the world was real, you don't risk everything by selling a flamethrower. Well, Matt, you don't understand the way corporations are structured. It's a limited liability. So a company that builds the flamethrower called Boring Company, I think it's called Boring Company, they could be sued out of business, and that wouldn't affect Tesla. Yeah, I'm well aware of all that. I didn't just fall off the freaking turnip truck. But if the world was real, you still would never take the chance that there wasn't some groundbreaking lawsuit that could then stem into Tesla or SpaceX. You wouldn't take the chance. And even the bad publicity on its own. If terrorism was real, for example, what if some weird group got a hold of 30 Elon Musk flamethrowers and they used them to set 5 western states that, I know there's some sort of monsoon or a hurricane going up there, and hopefully that will provide some much needed moisture. But we know the story on the West. Every year it gets dangerously dry. So what if a group did use Elon Musk's, and they admitted to using Elon Musk's flamethrowers to set 4 western states ablaze? 90,000 homes, people in homelessness. That would reflect negatively potentially on Elon, right? Maybe. You say, why the hell did he make a flamethrower? He's already a multi-billionaire. The point is, if the world was real, this would never happen. So once again, we go, what the heck is going on? We have to start at the base level. We know, our sense of inner knowing, the ability to tap into a wisdom that doesn't come through CNN, something that I have, something that most of you have, that the people around us do not have. We know for sure that Elon Musk is a caricature. He is not what he seems. He's simply playing a part, playing a role. I don't think Elon Musk runs any of these companies. He is a front man, a face man, a caricature of the system. In my opinion, he no more runs Tesla or SpaceX or any of these companies than the Pamela Anderson character CJ was in control of Manhattan Beach on Baywatch. I mean, it's an act. Baywatch wasn't real. This is no different. Okay. So we know. I don't. If somebody stumbles upon that, and that's the craziest thing they ever heard, I don't have time, to explain it to people that are completely clueless as to how the world really works. The people at this channel have an understanding. So we know he's not running anything. We know he's a front man. We know he's simply a puppet of the system. But this is mind-boggling. Usually when something this bizarre happens, the only way, and I don't have all the answers, but in my limited perception as to what might be going on here, it could be basically just a symbol of some kind, or meant to present a sign or give a message of some kind. We know they operate like this. Yes, because if anybody's new to this type of discussion or this channel, there is no possible way a multi-billionaire sitting on 5 globally leading companies would be as irresponsible to put their name on a flamethrower. Okay, I mean, I'm not talking to the people that subscribe here, but the 5 or 10 people that might stumble upon this. Do you understand how that's not possible? Well, Matt, any way for these mega rich just want to get richer, and any way to raise money? No, it's a flamethrower. Every year we have 10 Western states that go into tinderbox drought levels. Okay, even again, forget the legal liability or whatever firewall exists between his companies. He just wouldn't take the chance for the bad press alone if people were killed or 100,000 acre forest fire happened because of Elon Musk's flamethrower. You just wouldn't. It's the same reason Bill Gates wouldn't you wouldn't find he's running a whorehouse in Amsterdam. You would not. I doubt Warren Buffett is jumping in directly. I mean, he's probably involved in the pot industry in Colorado, but through a corporation that owns a corporation that owns a mutual fund. You wouldn't find him directly putting his name on pot dispensaries, Warren Buffett. It's just, you understand, I mean, it's just not going to happen. And if he is if one of his products, what's with that? Did you see that clip we came in? We have one clip of Elon Musk firing up his flamethrower and just like running in front of a camera. So Elon Musk, we're talking about now one of the top 200 people in the world, mostly recognized worldwide, internationally well known. Yeah, there could be an actor in Spain that's more well known in Madrid, but we wouldn't know who the F they are here, would we? I'm talking about global figures. He's probably in the top 50 globally, transcends borders, whatever. So, okay, if you want to sell a flamethrower, why does any company sell a product? Well, they want to make money. Well, that's ridiculous. They don't. He's not going to start this irresponsible company called, if anything was real, called, what is it called? Boring Company. Oh, and in the instructions, by the way, instructions on what not to do with a flamethrower reads like a Dr. Seuss. Green eggs and ham bullcrap. Everything is just cutesy. It's just the script of this reality. it was comical at a time, and it was fascinating how they kept putting this. It's starting to piss me off a little bit. And I guess I'm breaking my rules again. Give no time, energy, or attention or frequency back to the system. Here I'm doing it again. Levette, maybe I will learn my lesson someday, but this does need to be discussed. It might be worth sacrificing that chance of time, energy, attention if we could take another step closer to reality. So, the point I was trying to make was, if you have one of the most popular faces in the world, then how come he doesn't make the commercial? I'm Elon Musk, and I just made this. It's my new company called The Boring Company, and this is our new flamethrower. They have this little weird picture of him lighting it up and like running in front of the camera. What is that? It's almost like this actor known as Elon Musk almost has some morals or scruples or something inside of him that's not completely dead. And it's almost like, to fulfill his soul contract, he has to do certain things for the system that put him into this role. And it's almost like he said, you know what, I got to do it. I signed in blood, on the dotted line. I'm going to take the flamethrower, I'll light it, and I'll walk right by the camera. That's all I'll do. That satisfies my soul contract. It's almost like what you saw in the beginning. I'll show it to you at the very end again. It's almost like I sense he didn't want to be involved. Like there's just a trace inside him that's not a complete monster. And he just said, I'm just going to light it and I'm going to walk past the camera. Other than that, I know my company name. I'm going to be assigned to it. I won't get involved. I don't know. So I sense that in him. Again, in the same way that on 9/11, when George Bush is reading the Pet Goat book, I've talked with others about this, and we know George Bush was just a puppet. He's just a mouthpiece. Obviously, there's no power in his presidency. I don't think there's power in any presidency. I think Trump is the same puppet. Others would argue with me on that, but until he shows, I mean, look, I don't believe any part of the system's real, so why would I think any president's real? I don't. But let's just get back to the point. He is still, a puppet or not, George Bush was called the president. He probably was in a few meetings where he heard a few things. Dick Cheney didn't share much with him, but he heard a few things. So the point is, as he was reading, and I guess Andy Card, whispered in his ear, supposedly said America's under attack, but he probably said, 9/11's being initiated. The point is, he didn't, Bush, in his expression, he wasn't aware of what was happening, or he knew what was going on. Let me take that back. He has heard about whatever was going to happen, maybe even indirectly, but he wasn't ready for it. It was almost like he went, those bastards really did it. They really did it. What I've been hearing about. The real planners of the world in the back room, Bush is maybe like a little kid under the table, like JFK Jr. under the table, hugging daddy's leg. Bush might have come into a meeting room to grab cookies and milk, and he might have heard some things. And they're going to do what? It was almost like he said, they really effing did it. Now, he's on the same team of those that did it, but see, he wasn't privy to it. And it was almost like an expression of anger as he was like looking at that book for those uncomfortable minutes. So something was. So the point is, I do see a bridge between that and the way Elon Musk acted in this weird little clip I let in, and I'll show you on the way out. But I've been going around in circles in this video because the true question is, why are they putting out a flamethrower under the name of an Elon Musk company? Like, what? There is no business reason. If the world was real, he would never be involved in it. No one in any of his companies would touch it. They wouldn't touch it with a 100,000-foot pole if anything was real. So I usually come up with something. I can't. What's the message that they're delivering? Is it going to be part of a false flag where a bunch of, these flamethrowers are used to light up a bunch of the West? at its driest point a year from now? What is the point of all this? Uh, it's just mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. And this information is not even an hour old for me. I took it from a commenter that I was like, what? I read a comment on the last SpaceX video and I went, Elon Musk, that can't be right. He's making flamethrowers. I looked into it. Of course, there it is all over the place. He's making flamethrowers. And the people like those clowns that I showed leading in, I mean, people are just so dead. Maybe I'm too concerned with the welfare of humanity. I have too much invested in it. But those clowns, I mean, I introduced, I wasn't the first to introduce the NPC idea, the non-player character. People around us are soulless vessels. They have no inner spirit. I didn't, but I put that out shortly after I heard about it, and it did come originally from Chris Geo's channel, and it resonated with me, and I went, yeah, which he got that originally from Dolores Cannon, in my opinion. Dolores Cannon might have been the first one, but I thought, yeah, there is not many other ways to explain what goes on out our window. When we walk through an airport, maybe 80% of these people aren't real. They're real, they can shake your hand, but they have no spirit that is associated with the avatar body. And you watch those clowns burn down the mannequin, and the first thing I said, I'll worry about humanity. The first thing I thought of is, oh my God, they talk about these states from parts of Colorado all the way up to Montana, all the way down to the Mexico border, all the way out to California at certain times of the year are so dangerously dry. If you throw a cigarette in the wrong place, it could burn 100,000 acres. And the first thing I thought of is, oh my God, these things could be used to burn down the West, or just kids playing around. Well, let's play with our flamethrower. I mean, you know how much misery is going to be caused by these? Now, look, I'm basically like an anarcho-capitalist. I don't like the word anarchist, because if you had a council of elders doing the right thing and certain judges, I think there is a role at some point, at some lower level point, for a policeman, for example. Yeah, I want 99% of government eliminated, of course. But what I'm saying is, what the hell am I saying? I'm saying that, yeah, even though I'm absolutely for the least amount of government humanly possible, I'm almost ready to say here that wouldn't bother me. A government body should say, look, we have 10 states that for 4 months could go up and millions of lives are at risk. We are not going to allow flamethrowers to be sold inside of. That's just good stewardship of the environment, of forests, of animals. I'm Mr. Second Amendment, but I don't think my neighbor should be able to have a rocket launcher or C4 that could blow the whole block up. No, there is a limit. A limit. Okay? So, I mean, so basically I'm saying, if I'm going, and anarcho-capitalist is saying these things shouldn't even be legal because of the state the West is. If you're not from the West, you have no idea. Okay, I spent 6 years living out there. You drop a match in the wrong spot, millions of lives, if you get the right conditions, could be at risk. This is no joke. You don't really see it if you live in the East, where everything's generally green. You just don't see how entire forest lands, or we call it high desert, could just go up like that. It's not it's no joke. And you don't, with the West in this sort of drought catastrophe over the past, on and off for the past 15 years, you don't sell flamethrowers. So what the hell is going on here? No, to anybody stumbling upon this channel, it's not an entrepreneur just looking for another way to make money. No, I assure you, it's not that. Once these people get to a certain level, inside of certain clubs, they don't even need to make money. Do you know what the Federal Reserve is? They print the money. Print, but comes from a computer. They can make whatever money they want for whatever purpose they want. There is no taxation. Isn't about the government needing your money. They don't need your money. They can make as much money up as they want. Taxation is simply a control mechanism. That's all it is. Yeah, certain jurisdictions might need, not the feds. They don't need money. They can make up whatever they want in 10 seconds on a keyboard. It's a control mechanism. That's why it's 80,000 pages. Because using those 80,000 pages, they can get anybody on anything at any time for any reason. They don't need your money, okay? They don't need your money. The reason, it's about control, but it's also about keeping up perceptions. By taxing everyone so much and taking so much of everyone's money, it seems more real to people. Oh, big government, but they need our money, and it just seems that the entire charade makes more sense to people because of taxation. And sure, do they like getting the trillions of dollars of tax money, but do they really need it? No, they don't. I don't know. I look forward to your comments. I don't understand what's going on here. In many areas, reality is breaking down for those of us that can see it. But then when something like this happens, I mean, I usually like the George Bush thing, the 9/11. I can see. To me, I understand what's going on there. I can see the ritual of the teacher. Get ready. Repeat after me. Plane. Hits. Steal. I can see. I'm not going to get involved in what that potentially is, but the ritual of it. Even the pet goat. There's symbolism in everything that they do. The Liberty Bell's cracked. Really? The symbol of liberty. It's a big crack in it. Well, Matt, it was misfired. And sure, no, it's just blatant symbolism. There's no liberty's cracked. That's all it is. Well, Matt, you haven't looked into the story as to why it cracked. Do you know any bell that's cracked in use ever? But the most important bell in the history of the world, or at least that should be to us, is cracked. Yeah. Bell and Stowe or whatever's written on. I'm sure that means something. I don't have the time to look into it. Everything is just ridiculous symbolism. And I can't see exactly what the heck is going on here. So I look forward to your comments. Wow. I'm getting a little pissed up in here, guys. I really am getting tired of this. Look, if the I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I have my head together. I will give them no more negative energy or frequency. We will all collectively get one step closer to reality, and we will put forth our intention that these jokers, they will not control things much longer. Something this pathetic cannot stand, in the immortal words of the Big Lebowski.